Since autumn has made its appearance and I have a pair of corduroy trousers from my husband, I thought to make them into a pinafore. They are really comfortable in winter and of course versatile. And I love making transformations, recycling and upcycling our clothes so we can make the most out of our wardrobe. So it's the ideal project for today. Oh, I need to stop this now. So if you're like me and you love upcycling, recycling and sewing in general, consider subscribing and liking. I upload twice a week and that way you don't miss anything. And I leave you here my link to my Instagram account in case you want to see some new stuff and my everyday life. I don't know if you believe me when I say this, but this pair of jeans are like 20 years old at least. So he's not going to use them and I'm going to make the most out of them. So I'm going to use the part of the legs opened, so it's a lot of fabric, and I'm going to keep the top bit all the waist to the crotch line in case I can do something with it, because who throws away anything, eh? I don't. So let's go straight to cutting. I'm going to try to do it as neat as possible, making sure that I have them all parallel and they are nicely centered. Because it's a really thick material to cut, I'm going to cut first two and then follow the line I have left for the other two. So layers off, because of all the trying on is going to come now. I really like this about upcycling. You don't really know how things are going to turn out, but it's really enjoyable because you try it on, you take something in, oh, this is a bit big, this is a bit short or long, wherever. So it's really enjoyable. You also try on things with stuff you sew from scratch, but it's a completely different vibe in my opinion, don't you think? So now I'm going to sew these right sides together and top stitch the new seam. And this is what I was telling you about trying it on. When I did, I noticed just before the top stitching, I noticed it was quite big on the side. It looked like a school costume, so one of those you do for holidays. So I took it in a little bit, so it's like a line from the armhole down. So now I can hem all around the armhole, sort of armhole, and only with a simple hem because my machine is suffering a little bit. I've broken 2 needles already, so yeah, a simple hem is enough. And one thing that's not looking nice at all is the bit that was the crotch line, this big thing. It's looking really ugly. So I could rip the seam and do it better, but I'm just going to fold and cut the excess fabric, taking into account where the top stitching was. So I do it on the same side, and then after cutting, I'm just going to hem all around the bottom bit with just a simple hem. This is looking good, so now what I need to do is the straps. I didn't take into account that, so I'm going to cut a bit more of the trousers. There's a bit of the crotch line left, so I can cut 2 straps from here. Because I'm taking apart a pair of trousers to do this project, my straps have right in the middle of it a seam with all its layers and all of that. So because it's going to be quite bulky and my machine is suffering a bit with this fabric, I'm going to cut this seam right in the middle, so I can then open it to one side and to the other, so when I fold it, it hasn't got that many layers. And one thing I'm going to do, the ideal thing to do to make straps, is to sew them right sides together and then push them out. But I don't think I can do that with this fabric, so I'm going to just do it by folding and top stitching right on the edge. And I just remember I have this buckle and handbag stuff from my grandma's little shop, so I'm going to use one of these. I thought at first I couldn't because they are quite wide, quite big, but then I found little ones. I've already finished the project, here it is, but I forgot to say that sentence, so let's improvise. So it was finished and I was trying it on, and this happened. I didn't realize that by crossing the straps on the back it was going to wrinkle. To make that design I should have done the back narrower. So I'm going to just in a minute rip the seam and sew them one on each side, and that's it. So I finished, thank goodness. It's supposed to be a simple project, it's quite easy to do, but the problem I had was the fabric. It was really difficult to sew. I ended up breaking 2 needles and a third one is all twisted. I can't use it anymore when I started using a thinner one. So I don't know, let me know in the comments if you have any tips for sewing this kind of fabric. And I love the little buckle things. They're really useful because you can adjust it and they give you the possibility to tie it to the front or to the inside. I prefer it to the inside. But if you haven't got any and you don't want to spend any money to do this, you just can stitch it like the one on the back, no problem at all. And I'm realizing that some people sew the pocket on the front, but I don't know if that's too much of an apron look, or I don't know. I think it looks good, it looks cute, and it's really comfy. And with the proper accessories, it can look quite cute. So I have to look into that, but I don't know about the pocket. What do you think? So let me know then in the comments, as always, if you have any tips to sew corduroy and what you think of this project, if you're going to make it for a daughter, a granddaughter, or a friend. And don't forget to subscribe, because I upload twice a week, and that way you won't miss anything. And I leave you a link here to all the upcycling projects I've done, tracksuit to skirt, scarf into a dress, really interesting stuff. Don't miss it. Bye!